Hi, welcome to Hook and Chat with Anniegurumi and our friends at Hobium Yarns. Hi friends, it's Annie from Anniegurumi again, and with my friends from Hobium Yarns, this is week 8 of Hook and Chat. So I decided, because last week I didn't really know what to do on Hook and Chat because I had finished my Tunisian simple stitch blanket and my basket weave blanket, the colorway is sold out, and then I just remembered that I could be weaving in the ends. So I'll be doing that today, and my son will be joining me just for the beginning part because I promised that he could go and play a bit after. But we are going to have a little chat about what today or recently is, right? What is it in Hong Kong right now?
Chinese New Year?
That's right, Chinese New Year, and it's not only Chinese, but we celebrate it pretty much across all of Asia, and it's the Lunar New Year celebration. So it's a new year, and it's the year of the
Ox.
It's the year of the ox. Do you know what year you are?
A snake.
You are a snake.
I'm almost 10.
You're not almost 10.
No, almost 8.
Yes. And so we've been kind of, celebrating that by wearing what color?
Red.
Yeah, we wear red.
Chinese New Year is like all the warm colors.
All the warm colors?
Yeah, like they look like orange and red and yellow and all those.
Really? Where?
No, like red pockets have like some yellow in it.
That's true. Yeah, red pockets are usually very bold colors, usually gold, red.
And shiny red.
It's very shiny red. It's very
like,
very
it
nice.
It looks like glittery red.
Yeah, it does look glittery red. So for
Chinese New Year has been great so far.
It has been great. We've been doing nothing. But we did see your cousin and we exchanged red pockets, right?
Yeah.
So usually red pockets are kind of like this. I'll show you guys one that my son received. It's like this, and inside is you put a new bill. So it has, usually you never put in old bills. It's always like crisp new money, and then usually it's given in pairs. Like usually if you're married, you give the pockets, but if you're not married, what happens? You what?
You don't get them.
You don't give the pockets, but you get the pockets, right?
Yeah, and also, they don't hand out wrinkly money.
Yeah.
They have like really like smooth and like.
They're actually brand new dollar bills that have been printed, or not dollar. Sorry, usually it's more than $1.
You can make money out of paper.
Yeah, the bank prints it. Yeah, but only the bank can print money, right? Because it's like official stuff.
Yeah, then you can have like just a house full of money.
Yeah, and something that was really cool before my son's school let out for a holiday, he made a lantern out of an old red pocket, and it's just like the cutest thing ever. I should have brought it down so that we could show them. Maybe I'll insert a picture. Yeah, I'll do that. I took a picture I'm pretty sure I took a picture, but I'll insert the picture somewhere in here so that you can see. But it was kind of brilliant. Was it hard to make?
Kind of.
A little bit. So usually when the new year is over, we usually recycle our red pockets from other people.
But we can also make lanterns out of them.
We can. So usually, after you receive these red pockets, they're kind of like, a lot of people will throw it away.
Or like recycle, or like, and they're all folded.
Yeah.
And cannot reuse them.
Well, no, you can reuse them.
You can, but it'll be like all wrinkly and stuff.
If you don't take care of it, it'll be wrinkled up, right? So usually we will recycle it. But say, like for instance, this red pocket, which is from his uncle and auntie, and also his great aunt, great uncle. This one says the year of the ox on it. So, okay, go. This one says year of the ox, so next year we won't be able to use it. So we'll likely make a lantern out of this, which is I think really cool. So anyway, that's like a little bit of Chinese culture, letting you know what's going on. But it's a big holiday, Lunar New Year's or Chinese New Year's in Hong Kong here. So a lot of people will visit their families and exchange these red pockets with the children or people that are not married, right? So the married people will give it to the people that are not married, and married people will give it to the children. So it's a great time for kids because they get to get a lot of money. But the thing is, like with the red pockets, it's not necessarily it's not a gift. It's not like you give the red pocket as a gift. Did you know that, honey? Did you know that red pocket, the meaning behind the red pocket is not to give as a gift. It's not a present. Do you know why people give you the red pockets? What is it?
For good luck.
Yeah, it's to make sure, like, we're wishing you.
We wish you some good luck.
We wish you good luck, good health, good wealth, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's a thing that I feel
And
like
it's really kind.
it is very kind. So I feel like a lot of people confuse the red pocket for like a present, but it's not a present. It's actually good wishes, like passing on good wishes. So any amount is great, because even if you do like a very small amount, it's the gesture of wishing somebody good health and things like that. So you can hear our neighbors like chuckling away. I think it's great because they're laughing. But yeah, so I'm gonna go let my son play some, and then I'm going to continue this hook and chat. Honey, do you mind putting it on mute because I'm recording? Is that okay?
Of course.
Thank you for your understanding. So I'm going to continue on with weaving all my ends in, so that way it won't become so overwhelming later or so boring, because I'm usually doing it on my own. But yeah, so Chinese New Year's, they have a good chunk off from school, and by the time you're watching this, it's quite a bit later, because Chinese New Year actually started on February 12th. So when you're watching this, I'm pretty sure it's already either the end of February or close to it. And so we have a lot of family time at home, and it's nice because my husband is also off, and we're just basically just hanging out together as a family and having a great time. And it's very, very you can hear from the open windows, a lot of people have their families over, and it's very sweet. It's very, very sweet. I just wish that my family was here too. they're all in America. So but we do have our auntie and uncle here too, and it's we're hoping to see them soon because we really miss them, and my son's cousins too, right? To be able to see them. So yeah, and then there's usually typical New Year's food. I wonder if I've taken a picture of it. They have a turnip cake that's absolutely delicious, and it's different than the turnip, the westernized turnip, which kind of I don't think they taste the same. The Asian turnip that they use for the turnip cake is actually daikon. So if you're familiar with daikon, whether it's from Japanese or Korean food, it's the same thing. And they use it and they turn it into a delicious like steamed cake that has shrimp and Chinese sausage. And what else is in lobako? Do you know, honey? I don't know what else is in it, but it is just delicious. And then also they use another common dish around New Year's is the rice cake. So Koreans will also eat those sliced rice cake soups. So if I have a picture of that, I'll put it up here somewhere too, because actually even though it's even when it's not New Year's, I make that soup all the time. It's called dakguk. Dak is rice cake in Korean, and guk is soup. So it's typically eaten for a New Year's kind of thing, but my son loves it so much that I kind of make it every week almost, and it's really yummy, really, really yummy. And then Chinese also has their rice cake, but it's not a soup. It is a steamed rice cake that is made with, I think, red sugar or brown sugar, and so it's a sweet dessert. And after you've steamed it, then you slice it, and then you dip it in some egg, and then you pan fry it. And I know it sounds really strange because it's a sweet thing, and you're dipping it in egg, but it's actually super delicious, and it's very sweet, and it has that kind of crunchy outer layer. And if you like mochi, in Japanese desserts, you will love it. And yesterday, on the first day of New Year's, I actually made these glutinous rice balls. I definitely have a picture of that, so I'll insert it somewhere. And basically they're like little glutinous rice balls, or mochi balls. This is also a Chinese dessert, and it's a good luck thing. Or actually, it's not a good luck thing, but it represents family coming together, like togetherness of the family. And so I made some that are just plain because my son likes the plain little balls. And then I've also made some that are a bit bigger. And then on the inside, there's like a black sesame paste, and it's just so delicious. Like really one of the best things ever. That black sesame, the rice ball thingy. Yesterday, remember I put it in like, oh yeah, and it's also cooked in sugar water, which is just, oh, it's so good. It's absolutely delicious. I was gonna do that in, but I think I'm gonna try to find the ones that are closer to my camera first. So I'm gonna do it here. And so I made that for dessert, and we had it, like kind of like a snack dessert, and it was really delicious. And it's warm. The sugar water is warm and really comforting. So we try to keep up with the traditional stuff as much as possible because it's part of my husband's side of the family, and being in Hong Kong, it makes it really easy for us to access those kinds of ingredients. So I like to show our son how awesome not only is the Korean culture or the Japanese culture or any other culture really, but to kind of like show him a bit about his own culture as well, because he's mixed. So he really gets exposed to the Chinese culture since we were living here, and it's really a delight to learn so much about the meaning behind the things and the reasons why we think the way we do, and culture. It's very cool, very, very cool. And so now, since oops, I lost my scissors over here. So we're just enjoying Chinese New Year, and I think it is for 15 days is when you're supposed to exchange red envelopes. So for 15 days, whoever you run into that you need to give a red envelope to, you do it just the first 15 days of the lunar calendar. I think it's 15. I have to double check with my husband. So it's yeah, it's a great way to start off the new year. And I usually try not to. I used to be a very like big resolutions type girl. I used to make goals as to what I want for the new year. So I used to do that for the Western calendar, so in January. However, the past, I think like 2 or 3 years, I decided not to do that, and instead just have more of an intention. Like, what is my intention for the new year? So this new year, January, or depending on whichever, because my intention is the same whether it's for the new year, this year is the ox, or if it's the Western calendar 2021. But my intention is just to be gentle with myself, to be more understanding when things don't go my way, which I feel like last year that was also one of my intentions, and I felt really good about that, because I felt like I really took moments to give myself some understanding and a little tenderness, because I think I was always a people pleaser. So I would do anything and everything for everybody, even if I couldn't do it or didn't have the time for it. And you know, in the end, like I was losing sleep, and then I was getting, you know, I was just feeling very overwhelmed with it, and I just stopped in 2020. I just told myself I do it because I can and because I want to, not because it's my obligation and I should do it 100%. And so I prioritized myself. So I prioritized my mental and emotional health as well as my physical health. And I told myself, can I do this? And do I have time to do this? Is it going to disrupt my sleep? Is it going to give me anxiety? You know, I went through the checklist of things. And then in the beginning, it was very hard because I was worried that I would upset my friends because I was always the person that said yes to everything. And, you know, I said no in the beginning, and it was really, really hard. And I said yes only when I knew 100% that I could. And amazingly enough, you know, it was fine. It was great. And I slept better. I didn't feel as anxious. I wasn't as tired. And even though 2020 was hard in the sense of like COVID and online learning and things like that, but I felt very focused, and I felt very mentally and emotionally light. And it was a really great thing for me. So now it's 2021 and the year of the ox, and I'm continuing that kind of self-love journey, making sure that I take care of myself so that I could take care of my family and take care of my friends and my loved ones even better, because, you know, I'm in a you can hear our neighbors. It's hilarious. At least it's like joyful, right? So anyway, yeah, so I'm telling myself to give myself a little bit of grace and tenderness and understanding when things don't go my way, or if whatever I had planned doesn't go exactly the way I wanted to. You know, I have all these plans for my small business. I keep saying, like, I want to release this many patterns. I want to publish a book, and, you know, I am working on those things. And yeah, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, and it's very easy to give myself so much stress and so many demands. And so I told myself, these things can wait. They are not an emergency. It's not life or death. And I need to take a step back and take a breath. And so it was really, you know, that's my intention for the new year. My intention is to be gentle with myself, make some goals, make some plans. However, if they don't work out the way I want it to, or in the time span that I want it to, it's okay. It will still be there. It will still be there. So yeah. So I'm just hoping to keep that kind of mindset and intention for not only the new year, but for the rest of my life, so that I can be a good example to my son and to be my best self. So I'm curious, what is your intention or goal for this new year? It's okay if it's, you know, you want to grow your small business, or it's okay if it's like, you know, things that you want to get done. Let's encourage one another is basically what I'm trying to say. And what else? Oh, speaking of, I know I was just telling you about my wanting to publish a book. And so my friends in real life, or sorry, I shouldn't say real life, because I feel like I've made so many friends on the internet. However, I also have friends that are like, you know, I've met through more traditional means, whether it was from when I lived in America, or I've met in person here, or I'm just like people who know me quite well in person. So they have asked me, oh, what kind of, are you going to make a yarn book or an Anniegurumi book? And actually, I don't know, maybe I will have elements of yarn in it, but I really want to make a children's book. So I have two that I have in mind that I want to do, which I've started to plan it out, but I haven't fully executed it yet. So I want to write a picture book, which I already have kind of the plan laid out and the story and everything, and I want to illustrate it myself and add like different kind of textural elements and different kind of art elements, like whether I'm using markers or watercolors or things like that. I want to make it interesting, and so I'm experimenting a lot with art products. And I also want to write a beginner's chapter book for the children that are just kind of like exiting the picture book realm into dipping their toes into chapter books, so early reader books. And yeah, so those are some plans that I want aside from the amigurumi thing that I'm doing. And yeah, I don't know, I just I feel very passionate about children and reading, and not only children but all people, but especially children. And I want to create books that make them laugh, because that is the easiest way to get children into books, by creating incredibly funny stories. For an example, we love the Elephant and Piggy series by Walliams, because they are just so funny. And then we also love Oliver Jeffers, because not only is it beautiful, but he has very charming and books that make you laugh. Like Stuck is really funny, and what's the one with the sweater that's really the Hueys and the New Jumper, I think it's called. It's so funny, and it's very charming, very simple illustrations, but beautifully done. And so those are kind of authors that inspire me. And then if you're looking for kind of like early reader books, a great series is by Zana Davidson, and she has a series called Billy and the Mini Monsters. So there are a bunch of them, and they're very easy reading chapter books with beautiful bright pictures and very cute stories that are funny. And so even though my son is reading a little bit more advanced books now because he's older, but he still goes back and reads those books. You just read them recently, didn't you? Yeah. And then these days, he really likes the Treehouse series books by Andy Griffiths and Terry. What is Terry's last name? Oh, Denson. They are very, very, very silly. And I think that even if the content of it has things that maybe are not appropriate, maybe some parents will not like it, but I really like it because it gets him chuckling and laughing and reading, and he reads them obsessively over and over and over again, and I love it. I just love it. And another book, actually there are a few book series by a Vietnamese Australian author named Anh Do. I think it's A-N-H, and his A-H-N. Is it A-H-N? Are you sure? Can you look on that book next to you? On the A-N-H, and then Do is just D-O. Yeah. A-N-H, so Ein, and then Do, D-O. And he has a few series out that is just great, so great. He has a Weirdo series, and it's a chapter book for yeah, he has a lot of series, and it's for early readers as well. And it's a little bit more than I would say a little bit more advanced than the Billy and the Mini Monsters, but not crazy, not that crazy. And he has so many Weirdo books, and it's about this little boy whose name is Weir and his last name is Do. And so if you put it together, Weirdo, and it's his adventures of his life in school, and being made fun of, and persevering through it, and his resilience. And it's just a really great series. And there are, I think, 15 different books of Weirdo.
Yeah, but 16 is coming on this way.
Yeah, 16 is already it's been published and we pre-ordered it, so it's coming soon. And then he also wrote another series called Hot Dog series. It's about a and Ninja Kid. So those are two other series, but they're really great. So if you're looking for something for your like 7 or 6 year old, maybe even 8, I'm not sure, but we've been gifting those books to our friends, kids, for their birthdays, and so far the 100% love it. So it's a great thing. And we're also big fans of Roald Dahl, but we've pretty much read it all. And then I kind of was looking for somebody that is similar to Roald Dahl, and after some research I found that David Walliams is considered the modern day Roald Dahl. And so we tried out some of his books, and we loved it. We love him. He's so great. We've read Slime, and we've read Thing. He also has a series called I think Horrible Children, Horrible Teachers. Can you hear that? That's actually that's Siri. I don't know why she's talking. Oh, I'm sorry about that. That's how life is sometimes. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, David Walliams is really great, and he's considered a modern day Roald Dahl. I just said, right? I think I just weaved in all of the ends in this blanket. So great, so great, so great. And so right now we're reading one of his newer books. We're more than halfway. I think are we more than halfway? And that book is called Codename Bananas, and it is really great. It's set in World War II, and it's just a very silly story about it's just kind of, it's silly. It's very silly, but it has its moments as well where it's, a little bit sad, and it's an adventure. So if you're looking for, and I think David Walliams books are a little bit more advanced than, say, like the Weirdo books or Billy and the Mini Monsters. So, and they're quite hefty books. They're very, very thick, but they're very, very enjoyable. So I think, let me see here. I think I've weaved in all of the ends. Oh my goodness, I did. Hey honey, could you pause that? And then there's the basket weave blanket behind you. Could you get it for me, the orange one? Yes, please. And then I can weave in the ends for that one. Thank you. So I'll weave this one in for maybe like 10 more minutes, and then, I'll probably have to end that video. So this one, I'm still waiting for the other colorway. Oh, I'm still waiting for it to get back in stock. So I'll do this while we're chatting away here on Hook and Chat. I forgot to make tea for myself. Oh, it's okay. I'll drink it after. But to be honest, if I'm drinking it, because, I can't remember if it was last episode or the week prior to that, I had the tea there, and then I felt bad that I was drinking on camera because it's like, those sounds. So I'm trying to, keep it easy, keep it breezy. So yeah, so this basket weave actually, I think, looks very lovely. I'm very pleased with the way it looks, and my friend really, really, really loves it. So very excited about that. So I'm going to try to weave this in the best that I can. Sewing is my least favorite thing in the world. I do not enjoy it. I do not like sewing in parts in Anniegurumi either. So, it's like my least favorite part, but it is important to put it in very, very securely. So that is what I will be doing. We've been talking a bit about not only books, but cultural things, and those are things that I love so much. I love books, and there are a lot of things I love, actually. There's no shortage of hobbies and things I collect and care for. There's not really a lot that I don't like. Recently I've been really getting into doodling because I've been trying to sketch out more ideas for the let's see, where should I put this in? Maybe I'll put it through these stitches here. I've been trying to sketch out more ideas for my publishing books and things like that. So I've been kind of looking up. So after doodling half the time, and the other half I'm researching some publishers that will accept non I don't have an agent, so non-agent, just free authors. So I'm researching that, and then my goal is, because one of the publishing companies is they have their open submissions in December, so I'm hoping that by the time it's 2021 December that I will have something to present to the publishing company. I really hope I can do it, and I really would love to be able to do that. And at some point I would really love to even make some children's books based on cultural things, such as, like, you know, our Korean culture, our Chinese culture, and maybe even like Hong Kong and things like that. And yeah, I don't know, it's a dream, right? So let's see if I can do it. If not, again, no big deal. So here we go, babbling on again about the book, because it is a very exciting dream of mine. So I've been trying to work on some YouTube videos on my personal channel over at Anniegurumi, because I think most of you are watching this from Hobium Yarns channel, which is fantastic. I have the same videos on my own channel, but I have some other things that I'm working on just for my own channel. And I had someone comment on one of my how to get started in amigurumi designing, and someone asked me how I write out my patterns and things, because they were using, I think, Google Doc, and they said that it was really hard to use. So I will try to make a video about that as well. But I mean, just letting you know quickly, I just used Apple Pages, because I use my old laptop, my old MacBook Air, and I use Apple Pages because my friend May, the same girl that I'm making this blanket for her boys, she had told me that that's what she uses, and so I just use that, and it's very easy to use, easy to customize. And I'm speaking from a person that is not technologically advanced, so if you are like somebody that's like really good with Photoshop and all those other software things, then it's probably not for you, because maybe you have a better way of doing it. But I'm not very good with actually I'm not good at all with like Photoshop and those kinds of things. So if you're like me, then you might, and you have an Apple computer or even iPad or even on your phone, it might be a good option, because it's like drag and drop, and then if you want to resize, you just click it to zoom or not zoom. But it's very easy to do. And I weaved in all? Oh no, I haven't. I have more here, because I was just thinking I used 6 balls. How come I don't have that many to weave in? Yeah, so I use Apple Pages, and it's very convenient and very easy to use. And then I go to the, is it the file, drag and drop, whatever, I export it to PDF, and then that's how I sell my patterns. Or, you know, or Hobium Yarns, I send it to them, and you know, they can share it with you. I have quite a bit of patterns on there from my earlier days even, and sometimes I feel like maybe I should go back and revisit those patterns, because I've learned so much since then. But people are still making my old patterns from the free Hobium patterns, so that makes me really happy. And I've also had a lot of people go to my Etsy shop or my other shops, like Ravelry and things, because I have those free patterns that I have from Hobium. I had said, oh, if you feel like supporting my small business, you can purchase the PDFs in my shops. So I like that, people can try it out for free. And if they feel like supporting me, a lot of people have bought my patterns, even though it was free, and then they tell me they just wanted to support me, which is really nice. So I really appreciate that. And if you're one of the people that are watching that have bought my patterns, even though they were free on Hobium Yarns, thank you so much. It means the world to me. And so, I just try to do what I can do and make patterns that, my son and I like. So we try. And then also, if you haven't already known, I had a whole series on Anniegurumi before on Hobium and my YouTube channels. It's called Learn Anniegurumi with Anniegurumi. So if you're, wanting to learn more about Anniegurumi or, dipping your toes in Anniegurumi, you can check it out. I show you how to make some patterns and tips and things like that. But I think most of you are well versed in the yarny world, so maybe you don't need it, but in case you're watching and you're just starting out in crochet and Anniegurumi, feel free. It's free actually on YouTube, so you can find it on Hobium Yarns YouTube as well as my YouTube channels. And I hope to be able to do a season 2. It's very challenging because I don't have a lot of time to film, and especially because when I film a tutorial, it takes a lot of time because I have to plan it out, and I make the Anniegurumi ahead of time, and then I write out the pattern, and I have to take the pictures, and then once I take the video, I have to find time to film the video. And then once I find time to film the video, then I have to edit the video, and it's just,
Takes a long time.
it takes a long time. It really takes a long time, and I'm so envious of people who are so good at doing it naturally, or maybe they've been educated and, things like that. But, I'm self-taught on all the technological stuff, so sometimes it takes me a long time, or maybe, the edit is not very good, or the lighting's not very good. Although these days the lighting's better because I have a proper ring light that I use. Let me see, do I have more? Okay, I'll just finish this one, and then I'm going to call it a day, so that way I can get back to my family and enjoy our holiday. But yeah, it's so funny because the last episode I was talking a bit about my grandmother and how I really miss her a lot, and it was a little bit of I was a little bit sad when I was talking because I really miss her, and I have so many good memories of her, and I feel bad. So I feel bad that it was a little bit of a damper last week's episode, but thank you so much for your understanding and your support. That's life, isn't it? We miss our loved ones that have gone to the afterlife, and we can keep their spirit alive by remembering our times together and how much we love each other. So I wanted to share that story with you about the persimmon and how it brings on a lot of memories from the past. And I felt like this week, while I'm recording this today, it's like gosh, I have so much to talk about today. It's like some weeks I'm like, oh, what do I talk about today? And then today I was like, oh, I have so much to tell my friends on Hook and Chat. So yes, I'm very thankful for all of you and all of your comments. It's really fun, and sometimes I have to rewatch the video because I forgot what I talked about that week, because I pre-record these a few weeks in advance. And recently my friend Teresa from Tegan and Lou, if you're not following her, you should. She's fantastic, and she's super nice, and she has beautiful patterns and makes beautiful items. So you should go find her on Instagram and all that. But we were just talking the other day, and she had sent me a picture of her watching Hook and Chat while she was actually hooking, and she was, you know, drinking, I think it was coffee or tea, and it really made me happy to see that. So if you have a picture of yourself having a cup of coffee and crafting away with me, I would love to see it. So please tag me on Instagram at Anniegurumi, and I'll definitely share those in my stories. And I just want to say a huge thank you for all of your kind words and encouragements. And I know I say this every week, but it's really a delight to see your comments and, you know, getting to know one another. So I am going to stop here because I think I have actually I've weaved in everything so far, but this blanket is not finished, obviously. But I have really enjoyed my time with you every week, and especially today, and I hope that this series has brought you a bit of friend time and a little bit of me time, a break, even though maybe you're stuck at home. And so I wish for you in this new year, the year of the ox, that it not only for good health and safety and prosperity and all that stuff, but I hope that you feel loved and that you take really good care of yourself. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!